Well, what motivates me, the answer to that is the obvious one. It's my family. Loving them, providing for them. That's what motivates me. It's what motivates me every day to come home. It's what motivates me every time I'm on the road at talks or around the country or around the world doing stuff. That's what motivates me is to come home to my family. I know it's an obvious answer, but it's obvious because it's the correct answer. I'd like to make a difference. I'd like to make a change. Bob Geldof, I remember reading in his autobiography years ago, he said one of his greatest fears was to be anonymous. I don't have that fear as such, but I would hate to leave this planet anonymously. I would hate to not having made a difference. We live in a beautiful, beautiful country. We live in a fantastic place, in a lovely planet. It's incumbent upon us to protect that and to mind that. And I say us and we because I'm not in any way lecturing. I don't mean to be in any way patronising by saying that. I include myself in it. We all need to pay attention to what we're doing. We're witnessing at the moment the greatest rate of species extinction that we've seen in 55 million years. This is ludicrous. We're supposed to be an intelligent bunch of people. This obviously can't continue. We need to look at what we're doing. We can't continue to just chuck plastic away and forget about where it's ending up. Oh, our home is clean, so we won't worry about where it's ending up. We can't live like that. We can't keep wasting food. We can't keep letting half the planet starve. We can't keep doing these things. We will not survive indoors. We can't live our life indoors. We need outside. We need the outdoors to live. The outdoors need us to protect it. That's what motivates me to try, if I can make a difference with one or more people to improve how we are treating the outdoors, then I'll feel I've made a difference in life, and that motivates me. I'm a gardener. It's what I do. I live in the garden. People have different connotations on gardening. Some people think of gardening as a nice leisurely pursuit. Some people think of it as, dull and fuddy-duddy and boring, and they think of the old man or the middle-aged man in a woolly jumper and, not an ideal dinner party guest, let's say. Other people look at gardening and they think of they think of something difficult and think of something, I don't know anything about it. It's not difficult. It's the most basic thing you can do. Gardening, after breathing and eating, is the most basic thing that we can do. You put a plant in the ground, give it water, it grows, it will grow. Everything else is an extra. If you want to start learning the terms like herbaceous perennials and talk about root cuttings and divisions and etc., that's fine if you want to go to that level. But if you never understand those terms, it doesn't matter. You can still be a gardener. You can still make a plant grow in the garden. So I'd like to get that message across to people, how simple it is and how much fun it is. But also, if people think of the word garden, they have different connotations. It's all happy and fun connotations. They think of dining outside. They think of relaxation. They think of chilling out with the glass of vino or the cup of coffee, whatever the tipple is. They think of kids. They think of playing with the kids outside in the garden, or the grandkids. And it's incumbent upon us to protect these spaces, because the gardens are nice places for us to enjoy and to put the feet up. But gardens are home to myriad wildlife, and it's really important that we protect that wildlife because it's their home. So we absolutely cannot keep continuing to pour chemicals out on these spaces, because we're damaging that wildlife. But also, as I just said, we like our kids and grandkids to play in it. So it's common sense. Of course we shouldn't be pouring chemicals on it. You look at the slugs and snails, for example, in the garden, just very briefly, which is the #1 pest problem in gardens in Ireland and England. And what do we put out to kill them? We put out slug pellets. Now, most of these slug pellets are very damaging to local wildlife and to the actual predators of slugs and snails. Birds and hedgehogs will eat slugs and snails. We put out slug pellets that kill the birds and hedgehogs. This is what I'm talking about. This is the difference we need to make. We need to stop doing this. We need to stop throwing away the plastic. We need to stop dumping food. We need to stop damaging the environment. I don't think any of us really want to damage the environment, but by our actions or our inactions, we are doing that, and we have to stop. We have to take stock of it. As I say, we're supposed to be an intelligent bunch of people. So if I can get that message across to a few or to many people, then I'll feel I've made a difference. Well, again, the obvious answer there is family. But in a work level, or work and life, and they're all connected, obviously. So. But I love what I do. I love working in the garden. I love working in the great outdoors. I love, seeing somebody start gardening and enjoying it. But there is great therapy. Now, there's loads and loads of studies to prove the benefits of working in the garden to your mental health, but I look upon it on a much more basic level. Just by working with the soil, by getting your hands dirty, by being outside, you're reconnecting, you're recharging yourself. I don't care if you call it God or nature or the universe or Buddha, or I don't care what you want to call it, but by reconnecting with this energy, there is great therapy. It grounds us. There are positive and negative charges in the soil, in the earth beneath us. We are creatures made up of these charges. We need to touch base every so often to ground ourselves, to earth ourselves. It's where these words come from. And of course, with more and more city living, we have less and less access to the earth and to the ground, which is why it becomes so important that we take the time out to get outside and either work in our own garden or just go outside, ride a bike, climb a mountain, go for a walk, whatever your thing is, just to be outside and appreciate the outdoors and benefit from the outdoors. But equally then, of course, it goes back, it's all tied together. We have to protect the outdoors so we still have it to protect us, because our mental health and our physical health is completely dependent on the outdoors. Being out there is what makes me happy. Let me start this. My story is, in my 20s, I suffered from cancer. And then I got it a second time in my late 20s. And I was 21 when I got cancer first. And I'm no medic or no scientist, so let me preface the next comment by saying that. But I'm convinced, like I was, you know, a young male, 21, playing sport, working outside, living a healthy life. So why did I get cancer? I'm convinced that an awful lot of it is to do with the food that we're eating and the air that we're breathing. Again, it all ties back to what I'm talking about and protecting the outdoors. So I mind myself now by eating properly. I wouldn't dream of eating raspberries that come wrapped in plastic from halfway across the world that have a best before date of 4 days' time. Because I know that if I pick a raspberry in my garden, it'll be gone off by the end of today, maybe tomorrow. So that to me is common sense. I wouldn't dream of doing that, throwing the plastic away so it ends up in the ocean or somewhere like that. The fruit that is probably full of preservatives, to me, I wouldn't dream of eating that. I will eat something from a plant in my garden. So diet is hugely important. I'm also celiac, so I have to become even more careful about what I eat. But that's fine, that's very manageable and very controllable. And a lot of it is common sense. Being out in the garden anyway gives you a chance for aerobic workout. It's my closest gym, if you like. It's my office and it's my closest gym and it's my therapy room, it's everything. Because there is, as I say, there's great benefits to my mental health by being out there. You know, I don't know how many times I've said I'm going out to the garden now for 20 minutes and I'm still outside 6 hours later. But that's not even just in the garden. Anybody who goes cycling or running or whatever, it just becomes, you know, it can become all encompassing. That's how I mind myself, is minding what I eat, where possible, keeping my environment clean and by being outside. Well, the first life lesson that I would share, and I know it sounds trite, but it's so true, is live every day for that day. I presume that a lot of that, in my case, comes from having developed a serious illness from a young age and staring down the barrel of a gun, and you learn to appreciate that, you know, life doesn't go on forever. I lost a brother of mine very young. Both my parents are gone. You don't know when it's going to happen. You might go when you're 21, you might live to be 121. You just don't know. And that's not to say that you don't think of the future. I'm a parent, so of course I have to think of the future and I have to provide for my children and their future. But don't lose sight of the present day as well. You have to live for now as well and enjoy it. And life is about enjoying it and having fun. So that'd be the first life lesson that I give. Then on a career note, I suppose, what I would say is don't give up. Never give up. I've had failures in my career. I've had successes in my career. I'm 45 years of age. There isn't anybody who gets to this stage in life without having had their ups and downs. But don't let the knocks, don't let the downs stop you. Always get back up and get going and reinvent yourself. Even what we're doing today, I mean, this is going out on social media. You have to stay relevant. 10 years ago, this wouldn't be happening. So you have to constantly stay relevant, constantly reinvent yourself in business and never let the knocks, just learn from the knocks. They will happen. They've happened to me. They've happened to everybody. Don't let them stop you. Well, I suppose the first two people I'd like to thank, unfortunately, they're both gone now, but they're my parents, and they've brought me into the world. They've shaped me and taught me, and largely made me into the person that I am today. Also, of course, I'd like to thank my partner Jill for putting up with me. She has also given me two fantastic children, and she continues to raise two fantastic children. On a broader level, I would like to sincerely thank anybody who does anything to protect our environment, because it's our environment. So if somebody half a world away does something to protect it, we all live under the same sun and the same moon. We all breathe the same air. So if somebody half a continent away is doing something to protect that, well, I'm grateful to them. Or if it's my neighbour or whoever it is that is doing something to protect this vital and delicate environment in which we live, then I'm truly, truly grateful. I'm grateful for, in a work-wise, for everybody who's given me the opportunity. I'm grateful to being on national TV, to RTE, to TV3, 96 and 103 FM, the Irish Examiner, everybody who's given me opportunity and given me the platform to get my message out there. I'm grateful to the World Wide Web, obviously, to giving me this opportunity and this platform to be there and to continue to develop the Irish Gardener brand, because that's going very, very well, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful for anybody who listens to what I say, and if I can make a difference, well and good. But I suppose most of all, who I'm grateful to is everybody's life goes through different chapters, and I think the chapter that I'm in at the moment is the best chapter thus far, and for that I thank my two wonderful, wonderful little girls for the happiness that they've brought into my life.